Hello, welcome back to another video on my channel. So today's video is going to be unlike something I've ever made before, because it's just going to be a bit more about how I got diagnosed with ADHD, how I overcame that, and what I'm doing now, and like how my channel is moving forward and my life is moving forward. I got diagnosed with ADHD last month, I think it was now, and it's been amazing, because to put ADHD into very few words, because I don't want to make this video too long, ADHD is basically, for me anyway, my mind is like always racing. I've always got 1,000 thoughts, most of them are negative, so I'll have like so many thoughts in one go, and then there'll be like songs playing in my head, and it'll be like this all the time. And the only kind of relief that I get from that is by listening to music so I can focus properly, or by meditating or doing yoga. Yeah, and I often felt the need that I needed to live a really exciting life, otherwise my life would just be boring and pointless, and just so many other different things. But that's basically the base of it. And from there came anxiety, depression. I was very neurotic. Now I realise that it was something that I've had all my life, and I'm now 27 years old, and it's getting to the point where I'm just living such a scattered life, and there's just so much that I couldn't deal with. Like, I couldn't deal with normal life, struggles in normal day life, like doing chores around the house, and it's kind of embarrassing. Like, I was always so embarrassed to admit it, but doing chores was always just like so boring to me. But it was almost like I used to get this feeling of such like annoyance, like every time I did something it was just like, oh, this is so awful, like I don't want to do this. Which I know doing chores is like that, but it was because of my brain, like the way my brain was acting and things it was saying to me. Yeah, so that's like what I had like a really hard time with as well, and just bringing my mood up all the time was really hard. Just so many different things. As I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but I have a blog post that I wrote that I will leave a link down below in the comments, in the description, if you want to see that, if you want to read my experience and how I got diagnosed and everything. It's all in there. So basically I went to a psychiatrist, and I had to pay quite a bit of money to see a psychiatrist to get diagnosed, and I've got a follow-up appointment I've got to pay for as well. It is quite expensive in the UK, but getting diagnosed on the NHS for an adult is near impossible. Like, you have to wait months, and you have to convince your doctor in the first place. Whereas what I did is I contacted the secretary of a psychiatrist who lived maybe like 30 miles or so away from me, and I said, I'm having a really hard time getting my doctor to refer me, and I'm just not the type of person who can just easily like go in there and like get him to do it. And initially, like, I wanted it to do it for the NHS, which was super hard, but yeah, the secretary actually rang up my doctors for me. She's the best, she was so good, and she arranged it all, and all I had to do was speak to a doctor. Basically he rang me up, I spoke to him, and then he said, oh, I see you want to be referred privately, that's no problem, we can do that and stuff. And it was like that easy because of the secretary that the psychiatrist had. So I just wanted to mention that there, because I always found it really hard to convince people, especially doctors and people who are older or more qualified than me. I just always felt really small compared to them, so I found it really hard. But yeah, another thing that I wanted to mention is I've got inattentive type ADHD. Basically there's 3 different types of ADHD. You can have impulsive and hyperactive ADHD, you can have inattentive ADHD, and you can have combined. So there's a huge misconception about ADHD, is that you are hyperactive. You're not hyperactive. You don't have to be hyperactive. I was always a dreamer. I was a very quiet, sensitive child. I did pretty okay at school, but I winged it a lot, and obviously nobody thought there was an issue with me. I was just a quiet person, and that's pretty much how it went. Nobody can see inside my mind when I'm a child, so this is why it went undiagnosed for so long. And it wasn't until I got at least into my 20s when I really started to see the effects of it, and it started to get progressively worse. Yeah, I know I've always been like an overthinker and stuff, but people don't know that because I don't tell people that. I was always a very introspective person. I never, spoke up about my internal struggles much. That's why I started YouTube and a blog and Instagram and things. So if you want to check those things out, I will link them down below. So I was prescribed medication, And the funny thing is, I was always against medication. It was always a last resort kind of thing for me, especially even when I was like had really bad anxiety, and even when I've been like really down, medication was always a very last resort, you're gonna kill yourself kind of thing to take. And then all of a sudden, like, I read some comments and I read some posts on ADHD medication, and I realised that I was making myself suffer. Like, I could choose to look at this through a place of fear or a place of love, and I was always looking for it for a place of fear. And I just decided to change my perspective, and that's something you can do. I wrote another blog post about that, so if you're interested, I'll link it down below. I apologise for the background noise. I'm sat outside, there's like cars going by, but I do have my microphone, so hopefully it's not too bad. So I got prescribed Strattera, and it's a non-stimulant, so I wasn't keen on taking a stimulant. There's a lot of bad side effects. You can get addicted, it can cause heart problems. There's a lot of bad things that come from that. There's still a lot of side effects and long-term side effects and things from Strattera as well, but it's different. It's not addictive, and yeah, it works better with people who also suffer with like anxiety and depression and things as well, and I guess the inattentive type. So I was like, yes, I want to try this one, and oh my god, it took me a while to actually convince myself that it was the right thing to do. There was a lot of tears shed, and eventually I decided, you know, I'm just going to take it and see what happens. So I took it the first day. I felt drugged up, I felt stoned, I felt awful, but it was mainly just because I felt super tired, drowsy, woozy, those kind of feelings. And so I had the day off, so I just laid on the sofa most of the day, and then I really did not feel good, and I was just like, I cannot do this, I can't feel like this every day. Day 2 came, and I woke up, and all of a sudden, like, I had so much more energy, my brain was clear of thoughts. My boyfriend commented on how much better my driving was. This is day 2, like, and 10 milligrams, so it's a really small dose, and which is incredible because I read people who start on 40 milligrams for ADHD. Oh yeah, I've got moderate, by the way. Some people have it way worse, I think, but I had a lot of like sensory issues as well, and for some reason bright lights and things don't affect me the same way they did. Like, I was very sensory defensive, which means coming from like a dark area to a light area, I was like, whoa, and felt really overwhelmed, and a lot of it had to do with like the anxiety because I knew that was coming as well. Being in crowded spaces. I was in a crowded space yesterday. I had a moment where I had to sit down for a few minutes because I felt a little bit lightheaded, but it was more like anxiety and concern, I guess. But other than that, like, my anxiety has gone from maybe like about a 6, 7 to a 1, and that is amazing. My overthinking has stopped completely, and I've realised how much overthinking that I used to do. Like, I literally walked up loads of stairs yesterday, and before I'd be like, I'm going to be out of breath, I'm not going to feel good afterwards. This is how I normally feel about it, and so I'm really tense doing it. And I just went up the stairs, my heart was racing a little bit because, like, I'm not very fit, and then I was just like, wow, you didn't overthink that. You must have been overthinking things so much. And honestly, it's just been incredible, and it's only been a few days. Yeah, so people online put that they were like, it took like a few weeks for it, you know, to take effect. It's just amazing. And I sort of thought maybe this is a placebo effect, but I don't think it is, you know. Like, my mind has never been so clear and focused before in my entire life. I can hold a conversation without thinking about loads of different things. Yesterday morning I woke up and I did the washing up. I put my boyfriend's washing on because he'd been away for a week, so I'd put his washing on. I even made him breakfast in bed, and I've been doing my washing up like very regularly, when before I had so many thoughts that clouded my mind that I just couldn't do those things, and it's really weird. But then there's also a part of me that's worried that I'm going to lose myself, my creativity, my passions and things. But I can see again that that's coming from fear, and I've actually can stop and realise these thoughts are coming from fear. You know, you've only been on it a few days, you might change, you know, so yeah, it's been really amazing. Like, I can't believe how much I struggled before. I can't believe how much I allowed myself to struggle before, and I know I didn't know I had ADHD, and I thought I just had anxiety and depression and sensory issues. But from taking this tablet once a day, I'm already feeling the positives from it, and it's like miraculous. I just can't explain how good it feels just to have everything calm and like your mind being still, and it's just amazing. So I just wanted to finish up the video with some final thoughts. So I was doing an open university degree. I struggled to continue with that, and now I know that was because of ADHD, so I'm thinking about restarting that up, and I'm talking to, like, I've emailed them about funds and things because I have no idea how that's going to go. I think I might not be able to afford to do it. And then I'm also thinking about doing some other short online courses for free on this website called Future Learn, which is really awesome. If anybody, I don't know if you just have to be UK based, but it's loads of free like short courses from universities, and I'm going to start doing some of them again. I did a couple before, but I just never finished them, typical ADHD behaviour. And that's going to show me, you know, if I can get back to doing studying and things. But I just have all this free time now. I have all this space because my mind isn't cluttered with all these thoughts all the time. It's like I just have all this space. I just have all this time. I'm like, it's amazing. And then as far as my channel goes, I want to make more videos to help people, and yeah, I want to make more, like, I feel like I can be a lot more structured now with my thoughts. You can probably tell, like, they're just flowing out of me a lot easier. I'm not going to be editing this video so much as I normally do a video, so that's going to save me a lot of time. I'm just feeling really good and hopeful for the future, and I hope you stick with me for this journey and see where my channel progresses to. So hopefully what I'm going to do is learn a bunch of things and then share it with you guys. It's what I'd really love to do the most, I think. So yeah, you probably noticed my channel's always been really sporadic, all over the place, different kinds of videos. Yeah, and I want to improve on that, and I want to grow even more as a person than I already have done. I know now I'm going to be able to work on my diet, my fitness, self-growth, so much more, because I'm going to have all that space inside my head to do that. And I don't know how this medication is going to affect me in the future. I don't know if it's going to turn its back on me, or, you know, it could go anyway. I don't know if my doctor's going to be like, I think we should up your dose. You know, I don't know how it's going to go, but I do know that I'm hopeful for the future. And yeah, I just feel like I've just seen the light. Thank you so much for watching this video, if you have done all the way through. Thank you so much for sticking with me, like, all these years, and all the way through, like, my negative videos that I've actually gone and deleted because I just don't like them. Like, I don't want this channel to be about negativity. I want it to be about positivity and how to improve your life and things, you know. So yes, and I want to educate you. So yeah, if you think you may have ADHD and you're struggling with your daily life, you're struggling with overthinking, anxious thoughts, things like this, I highly recommend you see a psychiatrist or go through the NHS. I highly recommend, even if you can't afford it, to try and find some way to afford it, whether it's doing extra work, overtime, taking out a loan. Like, don't hold that against me if you do take out a loan. I really highly recommend it because this has helped me so much. Like, it was just a revelation knowing that I've had this all my life, but actually now treating it has been a life-changing experience. So I know some people who watch my videos might have similar experiences to me in life and similar, like, racing thoughts and things. So if that is you, I really highly recommend that you go and seek help, because, you know, you don't know what you're missing out on. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again very soon.